Hello boys and girls. Right, this video is a continuation from the last video that we had, the last tutorial about the animal cell. This video is about the plant cell. Alright, so the plant cell has a regular shape, a distinct shape. Alright, and the boundary that I have drawn is what we call the cell wall. The cell wall is non-living. That means there is no life in it, but it surrounds the cell membrane. This cell wall is made up of a substance that we call cellulose, and this cellulose is a carbohydrate. It is rigid. That's why it gives a distinct shape to the plant cell. The other function of the cell wall is that it protects the inner contents of the cell. The second part that I have drawn is what we call the cell membrane. The cell membrane has the same function as that of the animal cell. And there are some things that we forgot to mention though, that we're going to add as we discuss about the plant cell. The plant cell, the cell membrane of a plant cell is thin and it is also living. That means there is life in it. And this cell membrane surrounds the plant cell. So its function, like we have said before, when we were talking about the animal cell, is that it controls that what goes into or comes out of the cell. We say that the cell membrane is semi-permeable, meaning that it is selective. Why it is selective? Because it only allows certain substances to pass in and out of the cell. The cell membrane also lies under the cell wall of a plant cell. Alright. The third part is what we call the cytoplasm. And the cytoplasm has the same function as that one of the animal cell, in that it is a jelly-like substance in which organelles float. It holds the contents of the cell together. And also, most cell activities occur there. Activities are that we call the chemical activities. The fourth part is this one, and this is what we call the nucleus. We talked about the nucleus in the last tutorial that we had when we were discussing about the animal cell, and the function is the same in that it carries the hereditary information, the genetic information of the cell. In plant cells, the nucleus is large and round organelle that controls the activities of the cell, such as growth, making proteins, and cell division. And also, it also contains information that controls the chemical reactions of the cell. The fifth part is this one, and we call it the vacuole. And the vacuole is the storage part. And what it does, it stores water, salts, waste, food particles. All right, and this storage area contains what we call cell sap, and it is a liquid that is found in the vacuole. So in young cells, this vacuole is actually small, but in mature cells it is larger and permanent too, as compared to that of animal cell that is temporal. In mature cells, the vacuum exists in outward pressure against the cytoplasm to provide what we call the internal support to the cell. And this internal pressure is what we call the Tega pressure. Alright, boys and girls, that is it on our tutorial, the plant cell.